Greetings, Earthlings. Was that cringy? Was that too much? Okay, yeah. I'll never do that again. Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Jordan, bringing you another story for your viewing pleasure today. Because, well, then again, now that I think about it, it's more listening than viewing, right? I'm gonna have to work on that. But regardless, I'm bringing you another story nonetheless, and this is actually a really exciting story. This is something that was super, super amazing, exciting, incredible, an incredible scenario situation that happened, and I'm about to tell you. But before I talk about the story, guys, just figured I'd give you all a little update for everyone who is a subscriber on my channel. And okay, I'll be straight up. So I just recently got back from vacation, and I didn't really plan ahead for the videos for when I got back. So that's why this week is kind of been a little, my videos have been a little off whack. I've been uploading more commentary and stuff lately, only because, as you know, I do a lot of Minecraft related content. Minecraft roleplays especially and stuff take a lot more time. So a lot of purge is coming up, and I've actually got a brand new series that I'm still writing. That's right, I'm writing it all before I start filming, because I have a bad habit of doing roleplays and not finishing them. So with that being said, great content is on its way, and I might also be uploading 2 animations a week, but you didn't hear that from me. So what I'm trying to say is, be excited. Thank you for your patience. Lots of cool things are on the way and in the works. So yeah, thank you for understanding and not unsubscribing. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing with your life? Subscribe. But, alright, that's all I wanted to say and get it out of the way. And not to mention, I'm playing a bit of Minecraft now because I feel bad, okay? Haven't been playing a lot of Minecraft lately, and I know a lot of my subscribers like Minecraft, so here you go. So we're playing some Minecraft. But you're here for the story. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So this story took place about a week ago. Okay, no, we're not doing that. Okay, this story took place literally a week ago as I flew back home for a little vacation and to visit my girlfriend and my family and friends, because I haven't seen them in a while. I hadn't been home actually in Newfoundland, in St. John's, in I think almost half a year. And, I hadn't seen my girlfriend in a little while, about a month or so. So I was a little homesick, and that's why I decided to go home for Halloween this year. So that was great. 2016, by the way. I don't know how long, I don't know what time you're watching this video right now, but just so you know, this happened 2016. But yeah, for Halloween this year, because you know what? Why not? And I was lonely, and I might as well. So I bought my tickets, and I flew home, right? Well, I was gonna fly home. So where this story actually starts to pick up is right about now, when I'm going through security in the airport in Toronto, getting to my gate, where you sit down and you wait to get on the plane. So what happened was, I got through the airport, got to my gate, and, as I was walking there, I noticed that, PlayStation actually had set up a big booth, and they were showing off the brand new PlayStation VR. So I sat there, I tried it out. It was pretty cool. Not as good as the Vive, but, it's good for what it is. So I tried it out. That was cool and fun and exciting, and I still had about an hour before my flight. So I was like, okay, I'll just sit down in front of my gate then. So, I went over to my gate, I sat down, and, I was just like, oh man, I really gotta poo right now. So I got up, and I went to the washroom. I was heading towards the washroom. So as I'm heading to the washroom, I noticed this man, right? This man with long hair, very recognizable. And you know what? For a few seconds, I was just like, why do I know this person? And then it clicked immediately. This man was Alan Doyle. And Alan Doyle, if you don't know who he is the lead singer from the band Great Big Sea. He's pretty famous, especially here in Canada, and he's from Newfoundland. So he's from where I'm from. In fact, me and him actually went to the same school together. Now, we didn't go at the same time. He is obviously much older than I am, but we still went to the same school, which was amazing. And yeah, so there you go. Google him, look him up, listen to their music, by the way. Fantastic stuff. And also, another fun fact. So, in one of my previous stories that I uploaded a little while ago called The Celebrity in My Class, was actually also a member from Great Big Sea. So, here I am, right now, telling you a story about how I met literally the lead singer of this band. So, there we go. I have the descriptions there, and let's continue on with this story. So, I was walking to the washroom, and Alan Doyle walks right by me, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is Alan Doyle. This is the man. I grew up listening to Great Big Sea, okay? So, being able to, meet this guy in person was a pretty big deal. So, he walks past me, it clicks in that it's Alan Doyle, and I'm literally starstruck. And I'm there, and I'm thinking to myself, how am I gonna do this? How I have to talk to him. If I do not talk to him, I'm gonna be kicking myself later for it. And, how awesome is it gonna be to tell everybody, oh yeah, I just casually met Alan Doyle in the airport. So, I went over nervously. I saw he was like grabbing a coffee or something, so I went over to him, and I was so awkward about it. I just didn't know how to do it, and I just said screw it. I was in the lineup, literally behind him. The lady was about to serve me, and I don't even respond to her. I just turned to Alan Doyle. I was like, hey man, are you Alan Doyle? And he was like, oh hey, how's it going, man? What's up? Shook my hand, and it was like we had a casual chat. I, of course, was looking like an idiot because I couldn't stop shaking. My leg couldn't stop shaking. This is one thing I'm telling you guys. Being starstruck, if you've never been starstruck, is such an odd sensation because you get so excited to see this person and your body reacts in its own way. Like mentally, you're like excited, but your body just like does its own thing. And I was kind of half shaking, like my leg wouldn't stop shaking, and I was getting kind of nervous. But, I was continuing the conversation, I was casually just, telling him I was going back home, going back to Newfoundland, to visit for a week. And, it just so happened he was going to Newfoundland as well. And that's when I put together that we're on the same flight. So, hey, that's also pretty neat. Going back home with Alan Doyle, on the plane, that's a pretty big deal. That's pretty cool. And by the way, just to also classify how well known this guy is in Canada, during our conversation, I think one or two people came up to him during our conversation to say, like, nice to meet you, all this stuff, like, your music's great. So, straight up, people are just coming into the conversation, strangers, just because they recognize him. So, we had a little conversation, and then, he took off. He was like, all right, take care. And I was like, oh, take care, man. And, he walked down the terminal area, and then, he got greeted by at least 6 or 7 more people, including one of the pilots, by the way. So it's like, oh my God, clearly this guy is talking to fans almost all the time from what I'm gathering here. So, he went off, and I was just like, wow, that just happened. And then I was kicking myself because, I was like, man, I really should have got a picture, but it's whatever. Screw it. I met him. I'm not going to go up and bother him. So that was it. So I walked to my gate. I'm pretty much waiting for the next 40 minutes to get called into the plane. So they call us in. They'll call me in, my gate or my number, sorry, whatever. And then, I go in the plane. And I'm texting my brother, by the way. I texted my brother. I was like, yo, I just met him. I met Alan Doyle in the airport. And he's like, what? Really? That's crazy. And then he texted me after I told him that we were going on the same plane. He was like, wouldn't it be funny if he sat next to you on the plane, if Alan Doyle's seat also happened to be next to you? And I was like, you know what? That would be pretty funny, wouldn't it? Not really giving it a second thought, just, there's no way that would happen, right? There's no possible way. Have the fates blessed me, maybe? Who knows? So I walk in the plane, and I sit down. And I'm just thinking, it would be pretty funny, wouldn't it? But I noticed that Alan Doyle was actually right behind me as I was walking, as I was on the plane, walking to my seat. So I sit down, and I see Alan Doyle, walking in the plane. So I'm like, oh man. By the way, I know that a lot of you guys are not going to know who this is, but he's a pretty big deal to me, so that's why I'm so excited. So anyways, Alan Doyle walks in the plane, obviously walking to his seat on the plane, and he literally turns to me, grabs my shoulder, and he literally says, "Yeah, buddy!" And I'm just like, what? This can't be happening. This cannot be happening. I wasn't actually panicking. I literally just, with a shocked look on my face, I turned to him and was just like, well, this is going to be a great story to tell my family. That was literally what I said. It was just so funny. And, I was like, straight up, like, I can't believe this is happening. We spoke a bit, and I was like, hey, man, can I get a picture with you? And bam, there's the picture on the screen right there of him sitting next to me. Proof, by the way. Proof. I got proof for this story. So, anyways, I get the picture. We talk a little bit. He's talking to another fan of his who's sitting next to him, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna be on this plane for about 3 hours with this guy. I'm gonna play it cool. You know what? I'm not gonna bother him. I don't want, him to get annoyed with me, right? So, we had the little small talk. He took the picture with me, and then I was like, okay, play it cool. Plane took off. I turned on like Star Wars or something, and then, that was about like 2.5 hours into the flight. So there's about 30 minutes left before we were landing, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna ask him something. I was just like, so, you going back home for, to chill out for a bit, vacation, because obviously I'm assuming he lives there because he's from there. And, he was like, oh yeah, just going back home for a bit. He said he was coming back from a few gigs and stuff because he plays music all over the place. And, I was just like, okay, yeah, that's cool, yeah. And we just started talking, and for the next 30 minutes, I literally got to talk just personally one-on-one with Alan Doyle. And we talked about from his music to, me doing film school and stuff. If you also didn't know, he's actually a bit of an actor as well. He's been in a few movies. He's actually really good friends with Russell Crowe, by the way. And he's been in the movie Robin Hood that Russell Crowe was in. He was the dude playing I think he was like the musician, or I don't know. He played music in the movie. But he was one of the characters. And anyways, we talked from music to film to him giving me advice, and it was amazing. And I'm gonna pass on the advice he gave me for anyone out there, in the entertainment industry or even in the music industry. He literally was just like, take whatever gig you can. Obviously take the best gig you can during the time, but take what you can get and, just do it. And when you're done, literally ask yourself, what's next? And you just keep going like that. You make friends, connections, and that's just how you get big, or just how you become successful in the entertainment industry. Make friends, make connections, have a good talent, have the passion, so on and so forth. Anyways, give me all this great advice, and I'm like literally just like, this is amazing. And then YouTube was somehow brought up, and when that was brought up, it was funny because he was literally like, YouTube. He's like, my son loves that. And I was like, oh yeah? He's like, oh yeah, my son's favorite YouTuber is Diamond Minecart. I'm like, really? That's really funny you mentioned that, because he said his son is like 10 or something. I'm like, that's really funny you should mention that. I actually know him. And, I'm like, I happen to do similar stuff on the YouTubes as well. And, I kind of slightly did shameless promotion because, it was brought up, and he wrote my name, my YouTube channel down on his phone. So for all I know, he's checked me out. I don't know. Maybe his son is a fan of me. Probably not, but either way, Alan Doyle's son, if you're a fan of me, it's a pleasure, straight up. But anyways, that was pretty cool. He wrote my YouTube name in his phone to check me out and stuff like that. And then, we landed, and he got up, he was getting his luggage, and I tapped him before he left, and I was like, "Hey, man, I just want to let you know that this has been such an honor. It's been such a privilege to meet you." And he was just like, "Hey, man," shook my hand. He was just like, "You know what? It was really nice meeting you, man. Good luck with everything, and take care." And that was it. And I got my luggage, went home, and the rest is history. And it was amazing. It was honestly an incredible experience. Again, Alan Doyle is like such a huge celebrity from where I'm from, and I've been growing up listening to his music since I was a kid. And to share a plane ride with him, and sit next to him and talk with him one-on-one, that's not really a scenario that happens to very many people. So, with that being said, it was an amazing experience, and I'm glad I got to share it with you guys. So anyways, guys, that's the story. I hope you all enjoyed, and yeah, be sure to leave a like on this video, and of course subscribe to the channel for more great content. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!